Mic check. That's the 1 2 1 2. Mic check. All right, everybody. Happy motherfucking New Year. I know it's New Year's Eve and we're on the brink of a whole new year. And can you imagine? We are 26 years into the 21st century. It is crazy. It's unbelievable. Technology is at a boom. There's things out here dealing with AI and chat GPT that assist us in everyday life to enhance the flavor of our endeavors. And we have the Charlotte Hornets on New Year's Eve taking on the Golden State Warriors. What more can you ask? Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in these streets. Shout out to the panel as it reaches its premium peak. Shout out to the chat and all of its cacophony spewing out of the cracks and crevices of Flight Sports Block. And big ups to you, all of you, who chose this day, this moment, this time to gather and collaborate your interests with Flight Sports TV. We must be having some technical difficulties because I can't get my intro in as usual. But nevertheless, the show must go on. So right now, we got the Charlotte Hornets hosting down in the Queen City the Golden State Warriors. The return of Steph Curry and Steph Curry. Both brothers are on the same team, but unfortunately, the boys from North Kakalaki are the opposers. When last season, 50% of that duel was an asset to the Charlotte Hornets. But now Lamelo Ball and company have to take on the Currys while their dad have to be more optimistic for the Charlotte Hornets than the Golden State Warriors. So salute to Dale Curry with the awesome display of decor and dichotomy for his enunciation of his sons versus the team that love him. We got the second half underway, 69-64. The Hornets are down by 5. And we have a dribble drive. It looked like a push off. Brandon Miller and then Con Nipple come in for the block. And they call an offensive foul on Golden State. Okay, Colin Sexton starts it off with the dribble. Kicks it out to Diabate. Diabate fumbles. So that's a turnover gathered by Curry. Here comes Draymond Green to the bucket, and Draymond Green scores. Draymond Green scores that bucket to increase the lead 73-64. And there's a break in the action as LaMelo Ball launches from the logo, but it doesn't count, even though he missed, and it'll be against the Charlotte Hornets, Brandon Miller, off-ball foul. So here we go. Draymond Green handling the offense as usual, point forward. Golden State with the ball in the lead. And a three-point shooter, no good. Rebound Hornets. Here comes LaMelo with the ball coming across half court. Imminent domain. LaMelo looks up. LaMelo passes Saxon, and Saxon shoots, and he's off. Rebound scramble. Golden State comes up with the ball. They shoot it down court, intercepted by Brandon Miller. LaMelo Ball with the steal. LaMelo Ball looks up. He gives it to Brandon Miller deep, and no. Con Nipple hustle. He throws it in, he saves it, and the Charlotte Hornets fortunately gets the ball back. Give it to Khan in the corner. No, there's a whistle on the play, and it looks like there's going to be a turnover. Another disastrous play by Brandon Miller, and let's see how this unfolds. If this is a foul, then Brandon Miller is in foul trouble early in the second half. So Golden State with the ball in the lead currently being challenged by Charlotte Hornets defense, if we can call it that. But they've been playing pretty good defense for the past few games, and they've been getting a lot of notoriety for that. But Steph Curry quiets all claims that Charlotte Hornets defense has improved. So he hits that three. Hornets with another miss. Long pass by Draymond Green, taking a chance. Draymond Green turns it over. Here comes Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller kicks it back out to Khan, and he's up, and Khan misses. The Charlotte Hornets is struggling from beyond the arc. We got a break in the action. It's not too much good to report for the Charlotte Hornets. For some reason, Concanippo has missed his 3 shots in the second half, where he was on fire in the first half, and Lamelo Ball has yet to attempt a shot in the second half. I think Lamelo Ball needs to be more aggressive. You got Steph Curry on the other side of the owl, and he got to keep up with Steph Curry, no doubt, in order for the Hornets to have a great chance at winning this home New Year's Eve game. And listen, did you guys look on the bright spot of things? LaMelo Ball has yet to have a Christmas Day game. Lonzo has had several Christmas Day games because Lonzo always played in a bigger market than LaMelo. The only time the market was somewhat equal is when Lonzo was with the Pelicans. But when Lonzo was with the Pelicans, on the contrast of the markets being somewhat equal, Lonzo Ball had the star power with him. So that's how the Pelicans was able to get Christmas games, because they had Zion Williamson and they had Lonzo Ball as well as Brandon Ingram. So they had a #1 overall pick, and then they had 2 second first round picks. Excuse me, they had two second first round picks. Yes, second overall first round picks. So that is supreme star power, and they was young, they were popular, and they was popping. So Lonzo had an opportunity to play Christmas Day on the Lakers, the Pelicans, the Bulls, as well as the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Christmas Day, Lonzo Ball's familiar with, but LaMelo Ball unfortunately couldn't get a Christmas Day game, but he got a game right before Christmas, and then he got the game right after Christmas. So he got a December 26th game. So maybe next year, if he can finish a strong season and Charlotte can be somewhat relevant in the play-in market, the Charlotte Hornets with LaMelo Ball and Concanippo probably could get a Christmas Day game. And that would be very well suited for the North Carolina market. Here we go. Start the third quarter, 9 minutes, 24 seconds in. Hornets down by 15. It's undesirable right now how they're playing, but Brandon Miller with the anchor on the backboard within footer. Great shot looking like Bernard King on the release. So he'll get an and one. He'll go to the free throw line to try to capitalize off of the referee call, and he does. He hits the and one. So that narrows the deficit 79-67 as the Golden State Warriors bring the ball half court, being challenged by Brandon Miller. Oh no, they backdoored him. Brandon Miller went to sleep on the pick and roll. They backdoored him, and they score. And here comes Lamelo after Lamelo with the three. Yes, Lamelo bullets the three. That helps cover from the disastrous defense of Brandon Miller. How he got backdoored by a smaller guard. Oh my God, Golden State is putting on a clinic. Golden State is putting on a Naismith clinic right here in the Queen City, where basketball is a supreme hub. Well, don't tell that to Bryce Young right now, as the Carolina Panthers, congratulations, as Con Knipple hits from three, wins their division. Could you imagine that? A team from Charlotte win their division, and it's not the Hurricanes? So here we go. Bryce Young doing his thing. Let's see if Lamelo can do his. Charlotte needs a star with a winning record. And could Bryce Young be that star? As Brandon Miller gets very aggressive. Oh no, Colin Sexton, excuse me. Colin Sexton looked big on that play. Confused me. A misidentification. Colin Sexton with the aggressive drive. And it looks like the Charlotte Hornets is getting a little pep in their step. So they're narrow. They're +5 in the last 2 minutes. So 83-73, Charlotte narrowed the lead down to 10. Could have been 9, but Sexton missed from the charity line. And so that stimmy is no good. And the check returned to sender. Inefficient funds. Let's see what the next opportunity can Colin Sexton bring it down to single digits, because that's where the Hornets need to be playing at single digits if they're going to be behind. And he does. So he is one of two. Diabate comes into the game. We know that he's a very, very good battery for the Charlotte Hornets on the offensive rebound side. And there's a miss. Good defense by Diabate causing that distraction and miss. Colin Sexton again to the rack, and yes, and Colin Sexton gets it in and one. Colin Sexton and one has the opportunity to make 5 straight points. And let's see. Yes, that bucket is good. And Colin Sexton is back at the line again for an opportunity to even narrow this deficit more. And he does. Charlotte Hornets is on a run right here. We don't know how much brevity this run will be, but Golden State is in a quagmire. Okay, Curry with the ball. Back to Draymond. Ooh, look at this passing clinic from the Warriors. And yes, they capitalized. They got Charlotte Hornets scrambling all around. And a 3-point shot from the Golden State Warriors, whose name is not Curry. Here comes Lamelo. He's getting trapped. Lamelo holds onto the ball like Steve Nash. And here comes Khan. Khan with the pull-up, looking like Jeff Hornacek. And yes, Khan scores. You know, a lot of people talk about Con Knipple running the offense of the Hornets. And I don't see Con being a director. Con is more of a helpmeet. As Lamelo scrambles for that ball, Lamelo gets it, and it kicks it up to Brandon Miller, and Brandon Miller scores. And he's looking for the foul, but no foul. And the Charlotte Hornets have made this a 5-point game. Time out by Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is disgusted at what's going on, especially seeing Lamelo hustle the way he's hustling at 6'7", 6'8", diving for the ball, saving it, and causing the fast break and the execution of the fast break, where Brandon Miller finishes with great results. So Brandon Miller, Lamelo Ball, and Colin Sexton have taken over the third quarter of this game. And this is an important game because this is nationally televised. You know, this is on NBA TV. So even though League Pass is carrying it, there's a lot of football going on, college that is. And so this game being played early is giving people the sports exhilaration they need to start off their New Year's Eve as the plethora of sports that will be played, from football to basketball, professional, collegiate, etc. So this is a very good spot for LaMelo Ball because all eyes are descending on the Queen City, and they want to see if the buzz in the hive is real because the Charlotte Hornets have been playing some spectacular basketball in these last several games. After that loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they've been playing real good basketball, and they got to get credit for that. And one of the reasons why they've been playing real good basketball because of the reemergence of Brandon Miller. Con Knipple has been out a few games, and the Charlotte Hornets have not skipped a beat. And that's what we love about the Charlotte Hornets. So we had a commercial break, and we'll be right back. So hold on to those potatoes as we be right back. Who would have thought that my mic would have had to go out at that time? Charlotte Hornets have taken the lead, and Lamelo Ball is acting a fool out here. He has been very active defensively and stealing the ball, guarding the paint, as Zion James and company are making this a very difficult task for the Golden State Warriors. So right now in the Queen City, 96-91, Golden State is down with the ball. As let's see if the Charlotte Hornets can have another defensive stance. And they do. Oh, Golden State gets the rebound off the air ball, launches the three, and they capitalize. They capitalize off of Charlotte Hornets' inability to grab the rebound. And now it's a 2-point ball game. Here comes Lamelo. Lamelo with a turnover. Is this a Golden State Warriors run that we do not want to see? Oh, Lamelo is injured. There's an injury for Lamelo. He's come off the court. Trainers are looking at him. Look like there's something wrong with his finger. If it ain't one thing, it's another. And they're looking at him. I don't think it's one of those where he will not be back in the game, but they look like they snatched something. So maybe his finger went out of adjustment. They're putting water on it right now. Oh, they put some type of a napkin over it. Maybe there's some blood. So right now, LaMelo had 10 points in the first half and got 12 in the third quarter. He has yet to miss a field goal in the fourth quarter. He's 4 for 4, and he's had 4 3-pointers. So LaMelo Ball is on fire. This would be a bad time for the Charlotte Hornets not to have him on the floor. So let's see how this is going to pan out. With LaMelo Ball being sidelined temporarily, as the trainers are looking at him, Charlotte Hornets with a narrow 2-point lead, and looks like LaMelo will be back. He's looking at the clipboard. Charles Lee is sharing something with him. And let's see how this will affect Charlotte Hornets moving forward, as they are having a spectacular third quarter and is running Golden State out of the building. Lucky they had that lead, or Golden State, they probably would be waving the white flag in the third quarter. So here we go. New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's, everybody. LaMelo with the drive. LaMelo with the kick. Josh Green's showing some type of enthusiasm, and Josh Green throws up an air ball, and they loses it. And here comes Golden State down by 2 with the ball, and they're looking to attack, throw it in the middle, kick it back out for the 3, and no, but Golden State gets the rebound. A nice hustle from Golden State on the offensive board, and they are rewarded, and it would look like there's a foul on the play. And I don't know what the hell Josh Green did right there, but that should have been, Josh Green fouled. He fouled Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler goes to the line. It's not a bad foul, Josh Green. I'm not mad at you at that foul, but I'm definitely confused at what you was trying to do offensively. I think you was playing outside of your zone, and it caused you to have a very odd-looking shot as LaMelo will come to the sideline. He's looking at his finger. Man, I hope this won't be bugging him for the rest of the game, because that could be one of them nagging injuries where it just throws your shot off. And LaMelo was on fire for the third quarter, 4 for 4 with 4 straight 3-point shots, and they're looking at his hand. And LaMelo is demonstrating that there's a problem there. it almost seemed like it was out of place and they jerked it back into place. That's what it seems like to me. But he's having a difficult time allowing that hand and leaving it alone. So here's Charlotte without Lamelo on the floor, but Nipple is out there, and it's a tie game, 96-96. The race to 100 is a nice backdoor pass to Zion James with the flush with two hands. McNeely, oh my God, that was a wonderful pass from McNeely. I'm glad I can say his name in a positive frame. And let's see with this lineup, can the Charlotte Hornets be productive? But they give it right back, 98-98. So Charlotte Hornets is in a battle as the remaining 35 seconds of the third quarter is gone. Oh, oh no, that wasn't Khan. That was TJ Salon, aka Terror Squad, with the Euro. But there's so many light skins and whites out there that I can barely tell the difference of who's who. Nice rebound, a stop. TJ Salon gives it out to Zion James. I can definitely tell who he is. And Nipple with the ball look like they're going to play for the last shot. Nipple at the logo. Nipple get the screen. Nipple gets fouled. So is the Golden State Warriors in the bonus, and they still have an opportunity to get the ball back. It looks like it'll come on the side. Brandon Miller re-enters the game. Josh Green goes out. So the Charlotte Hornets is bringing in some reinforcements, and Steve Kerr adjusts. So let's see how these 4.3 seconds make out. Here comes Brandon with a deep three. No, way off, and it's no good. And we're going to go to the fourth quarter, the last leg of this race, with the Charlotte Hornets up 100-98. And yes, Charlotte Hornets won the race to 100. And we already know what the odds is for winning if you're the first to get to 100. So good news for Charlotte. And let's see how this Lamelo Ball thing ends up. As we come to a commercial break, which is much needed, while they work on Lamelo Ball hand, and Lamelo seems like that hand has been irritating him since the injury. It would be a bad time for Lamelo to miss some games, as the Charlotte Hornets is pushing for his All-Star appearance, which would be practically a miracle if Lamelo makes an All-Star roster. But these are the games where you heighten your profile for that, because your fan base is already going to vote you in regardless. Now it's time for the players, coaches, and media to see what you got. And if you can show up against the Golden State Warriors with their trifecta of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Buckets, that's a strong case for you. Because you don't have that kind of talent on your team. And we know Miles Bridges, I haven't seen him yet. So that would be an extra bonus if the Charlotte Hornets can pull this out without the assistance of Miles Bridges. So there's a lot of things going on for the Charlotte Hornets in this game as we close out the year in an early fashion with the Charlotte Hornets hosting the Golden State Warriors. The return of the Currys. And it would be very befitting for the Meta Balling Company to send the Golden State Warriors out of their silo with an L. So let's see how this is going to turn out for the Charlotte Hornets as we resume action. Charlotte Hornets is with a good defensive stand so far, and they hold up. Yes, but the Golden State Warriors get the rebound again, and they cashed in on that. And from that three-point shot, the Golden State Warriors take a slim lead by the narrowest of margin, 101 to 100, as the Charlotte Hornets look to erase that deficit. Unfortunately, they don't. A missed shot by Charlotte. Here come Golden State with the ball in the lead. The babyface assassin gets it, kicks it out. He commands a lot of attention, so that leaves a lot of Golden State Warriors open. And the Charlotte Hornets holds on defense, and there's no harm. Yes! T. Salah with the bucket. Charlotte Hornets regain the lead, and it's a fisticuff in the fourth quarter as the lead changes back and forth. Oh, Golden State with a nice shot. Good defense from Charlotte, the better offense from Golden State. And here comes Colin Sexton with the ball coming up half court, looking for the imminent attack. Kicks it out to Neely. Oh, in and out heartbreaker. Good God, it went down and came right back out as if it was spitted out. Here come Golden State again with the passing clinic. Almost a steal from the Charlotte Hornets and another three-point shot made by the Golden State Warriors. They are just spectacular from beyond the arc. 106-102. 9 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this contest. And the Golden State Warriors are up by 4, but Charlotte has the ball. And let's see. They're looking to make trouble from beyond the arc. And Colin Sexton gets in the paint and he scores. Good dribble drive by Colin Sexton. Didn't try to shoot the three and caught Golden State at their weakest point, and he makes them pay. And speaking of Colin Sexton, they call him for a foul. So on one end, he did something good and then come back and foul and then give the defense an opportunity to shut the Golden State Warriors down as the foul was beyond the arc. Not a shooting foul, but on the floor. Zion James come back into the game. Colin Sexton goes out. I think Charles Lee was a little perturbed by that foul. It was very gratuitous in nature from Colin Sexton. And oh my God, the defense just went to sleep on that. Oh, a foul. Yes. I was wondering why nobody challenged that shot. A foul on Steph Curry. Can you believe it? They call a foul on Curry. Impossible. Curry doesn't foul anybody, right? So Curry gets called for the offensive foul. No bucket. Charlotte holds. Charlotte down by 4 could tie or take the lead depending on where they launched the peel from. Brandon Miller. Looks like a turnover. Oh, it's a foul. Brandon Miller gets saved. Draymond Green on the foul. It looks like that was going to be a turnover. Fortunately for the Charlotte Hornets, the referee saw that play in a good light for them. 106-104, the score remains 9 minutes, 16 seconds to go in this contest unless we get an extra 5 minutes in overtime. So here we go. Inbound, Charlotte Hornets. No Lamelo ball. Charlotte Hornets is trying to hold serve, and now my device just froze. Incredible. Like I said, if it ain't one thing, it's another. So I don't. It's nothing I can do about that. So until that device unfreeze, I can say this. Switching reels. The Los Angeles Clippers seem to be dead in the water on the departure of Chris Paul and all of the controversy swirling around Chris Paul's dismissal from the Los Angeles Clippers. Then all of a sudden, boom, bam, pow, Kawhi Leonard wakes up from his slumber. And Kawhi Leonard has been playing some historical basketball of late. Kawhi Leonard seems to be the unanimous player of the week, followed by front runner Jaylen Brown. Okay, back in the action. Charlotte Hornets looks up and know there's stoppage in the action, and they do not get a bucket. Golden State has the ball, launches another three, and they capitalize on the Charlotte Hornets non-bucket. 109-104, Charlotte Hornets down by 5 with another miss. So maybe it's time for Lamelo to get back into this ball game before it gets out of hand. We haven't seen much from Con Knipple, and Golden State scores again with the babyface assassin. 111-104. Timeout Charles Lee. He looks very disgusted because the Charlotte Hornets cannot get anything going on offense, and now they can't shut anybody down on defense. And it looks like a recipe for disaster. So Charles Lee needs to reset and recalibrate his troops. And hopefully he can come out with a scheme that would be beneficial for the Charlotte Hornets players and roster to capitalize on. Yeah, back to Kawhi Leonard. I mean, people was almost forgetting that he even played in the NBA. That's how bad the Clippers was, and Kawhi seemed to be low managing while the Clippers was having a disastrous start to the season. Now Kawhi Leonard's in full swing and back in claw mode. The Clippers have been on a 5-game winning streak and winning convincingly. Kawhi Leonard comes off a 55-point game. I think he had 55 points and 12 rebounds, something to that nature. It was a stats killer. And that was his career high, 55 points. So big ups to Kawhi and the Los Angeles Clippers as they seem to right the ship because it looked like Tyronn Lue was giving up on the season. So as the Clippers start to emerge, the Charlotte Hornets have been playing very good competitive basketball and have been challenging all of its opponents down to the wire. Won some, lost some. LaMelo Ball has been playing some very good basketball as well lately. And we know that that's not surprising for LaMelo Ball to play good basketball. It's just that a lot of people are skeptical on LaMelo Ball based on his health history. And his health this season has been somewhat questionable. And if that don't improve, what does that do to LaMelo's legacy? And if it does improve come the second half of the season, what does that do to LaMelo's legacy? Now, the Charlotte Hornets have a big conundrum when it comes to LaMelo Ball and the future of the Charlotte Hornets and their young core. LaMelo Ball has yet to enter the game. I don't know if he's going to get back into the game. We haven't heard anything yet of that. Charlotte Hornets has surrendered the lead and now is facing a 7-point deficit, 111-104. Charlotte with the ball, and Con Knipple ends that scoring drought. 111-106, down by 5. Here comes Golden State on the attack, scouring the landscape, looking for an opportunity to exploit the Charlotte Hornets. Draymond Green shoots the three. Draymond Green hits the three, but it does not count. Thank God, because the Charlotte Hornets has been horrendous in 3-point defense. So we're going to get a reset. The floor has been wiped, and let's see if the Charlotte Hornets can take advantage of that referee break. So we get another temporary stall. Charlotte knocks the ball out of bounds. It's Golden State ball. Charlotte holds. Oh, and it's a foul. It looks like the referee is going to bail out the Golden State Warriors, and Brandon Miller might be tagged with that foul, and that's not good news for Brandon Miller. Oh, it's a travel. Excuse me. It's a travel. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, Charles Lee looked like he's challenging. Charles Lee said it was a travel. Brandon Miller was tagged for the foul, which is bad news for Charlotte because no Lamelo, no Brandon. It would be very difficult for Nipple to hold the fort down because there's no Miles Bridges as well. And it looks like it was a travel. So Charlotte gets the ball. Charlotte cannot capitalize. They miss another shot. So Charlotte basically is in a scoring drought right now. Golden State with the ball. Golden State dribbles. Golden State looking for a weak spot to exploit. And they have yet to find it because Charlotte is covering pretty well. And down for the three, and it's another 3-point shot. So that's where the 3-point shot has hurt the Charlotte Hornets because they're packing the paint, but the Golden State Warriors is shooting from the distance. And I'm kind of confused if that is the strategy because Golden State doesn't have no paint destroyer. They don't have anybody to man the paint. TJ Salon with a bucket to stop the bleeding temporarily, down by 6. So that was a 3-point shot. 114-108. Golden State scored again. Jimmy Butler. Buckets. 116-108. Now, the Charlotte Hornets got to 100 first. And we know the odds are like 85% or more when a team scores 100 first. But since then, Golden State has been wiping the Charlotte Hornets 116 to 111. So another 3-point shot made. Down by 5. The Charlotte Hornets, and they look to defend, and Jimmy Butler just taking it to the paint, and Jimmy Butler is fouled. Very aggressive play by Jimmy Butler. It looked like he's trying to take over the game with 5 minutes and 24 seconds left and be very aggressive by doing it. So Jimmy Butler was kind of, chill, and it was letting Steph Curry do his thing. So now, since the Golden State Warriors have softened up the interior of the Charlotte Hornets defense as Lamelo Ball returns by shooting all those 3-pointers and making them. So now the Charlotte Hornets have to spread their defense to challenge the perimeter, and now Jimmy Buckets is able to go to work as the defense softens in the interior. So here we go, Jimmy Butler at the charity strike. He makes the stimmies. Lamelo has returned. So let's see, can this spark the Charlotte Hornets into overcoming the 7-point deficit, 118-111. And here comes the Charlotte Hornets. Khan with the ball. Khan gives it out. Oh! 3-point shot attempted by Josh Green, and he missed. Tijan Salon, and he missed. Wow. The Charlotte Hornets, they cannot. Ever since Lamelo got injured, because when Lamelo was out there, they was winning. They was first to 100, and Lamelo was 4 for 4 in the third quarter with 4 straight 3-point shots, and he got injured, and it seemed like the Charlotte Hornets momentum stalled. And that's when Golden State Warriors just start taking command. And they have yet to yield that command as the Charlotte Hornets still faces a 7-point deficit, 118 to 111. So that tells you how the Charlotte Hornet defense have been going so far. They was first to 100, but yet they're down by 7. And their opponent have already scored 118 points with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Golden State with the ball coming past half court. They give the ball up. They look to attack, look for the weakness in the defense, trying to exploit it. They give it to Jimmy Buckets. Turn around, no good. Shot clock winding down. Here come the Charlotte Hornets with Lamelo Ball in the game. Lamelo Ball kicks it out. 3-point shot. Oh! It looks like a foul. There's a foul on the play. Nipple attempt was no good. And let's see if the foul was on the 3-point shot or in the paint. So Steve Kerr looked bewildered. Charles Lee looked calm. Oh, it might not be a foul, or could be a foul on Diabate. But the ball is rewarded to Charlotte, and Steve Kerr would not challenge. I guess he feels comfortable with the 7-point lead. There's no need to challenge. So here we go, jump ball. Charlotte went to jump. Lamelo Ball with the ball. 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 Here's Lamelo. He's looking up. He's squaring up. He gives it up, and it's a turnover. Another turnover in the second half. Bad turnover at this juncture of the game. 4 minutes remaining after Charlotte Hornets won that jump ball. I hope it's not LaMelo's finger bothering him or hand. Oh, yes, they get a break. Here they come. Fast break. Who he gets to do? Brandon Miller with the dunk. Brandon Miller with the thunderous dunk. And Brandon Miller is amped right now. He said, y'all can't fuck with me. Yes, timeout, Steve Kerr. You do not want that to start a momentous run by the Charlotte Hornets. Man, look how high this guy got up. Brandon Miller with wings. 118, 113, down by 5. Timeout, breaking the action. Steve Kerr looks to get a medicine ball to his players because he do not want them to fall asleep on duty. This would be a nice statement win from the Charlotte Hornets because not only is it New Year's Eve, not only is everybody ready to go out and drink their eggnog and tequila, Moscow Mules, etc., but the Golden State Warriors are a playoff team. And in the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors cannot afford a loss by a non-playoff team. But you can't tell the Hornets that because the way the Hornets been playing of lately, they're playing like a play-in team. So they're playing like they're playing for something. And a lot of these players are auditioning based on the fact that the trade deadline is coming up. In the second half of the season, this might not be the Charlotte Hornet roster that we may be accustomed to. So there could be some jostling in the trading market because Charlotte is faced with a real serious conundrum, especially dealing with LaMelo Ball. Do they give LaMelo Ball an extension, or do they try to trade him and try to fishing off that steep contract and let somebody else deal with it? And you already know the Clippers are rubbing their hands like Birdman. Steve Ballmer is hoping that LaMelo Ball tour of duty and Charlotte comes to an end by the trade deadline. So the Charlotte Hornet has, like I say, a real serious conundrum dealing with Lamelo Ball and Miles Bridges. Those are the two sore eyes, and I say sore eyes, not eye candy, sore eyes financially for the Charlotte Hornets. And why do I say sore eyes financially? It's based on the fact that the Charlotte Hornets have some core good guys that are young. Zion James, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, Ryan Kalkbrenner. They have a good solid core that's young and competitive. And do they hold the money and allow these youngsters to spring up? Or do they give LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges the lion's share? A conundrum. Back to action. Jimmy Butler being guarded by Con Knipple. Con Knipple trying to be a part of his jersey. Zion James returns to the game. LaMelo Ball remains on the floor. Colin Sexton goes out. So we got LaMelo Ball, Con Knipple, Brandon Miller, Zion James, and Musa Diabate. Another bucket for Golden State as they extend their lead to back to 7, 120 to 113. Now, this is going to be very difficult to win. I got to be honest. 120 already? Brandon Miller with another bucket? Because I don't see Golden State slowing down to the point where the Charlotte Hornets can defend them for these last remaining 2 minutes and 50 seconds of this basketball game. Brandon Miller! No. So here we go. A whistle on the play. There's a foul on LaMelo. Brandon Miller like he wanted to take over this game. That would have been a nice alley-oop if Brandon Miller could have executed, but unfortunately he couldn't. Another three-point shot by the Warriors, another three-point shot made. So it looks like doom and gloom for the Hornets, 123-115. Can they get back? Con Knipple with the three. So each three cancel out each other. So it's a 5-point deficit for the Charlotte Hornets. But where is striking distance? The Charlotte Hornets just need a stop. Can they get a stop on this play right here? A three-point launch and a three-point made. Draymond Green hits the three-point shot, kind of semi-devastating. Let's see if they can get that three-point back. Con Knipple to the rack. Con Knipple looks like he's fouled from behind, and it looks like they're calling it on the floor. Draymond Green with the foul. Walt Town is in the building. Con Knipple, Milwaukee finest. So here we go. 126 to 118. LaMelo with the ball at the logo. The Hive is buzzing. They kicked it out. LaMelo kicks it out to Brandon, and Brandon scores. Another bucket by Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller's going wild tonight. Unfortunately, the Charlotte Hornets is down by 6. 126, 120, 138 to go into this contest. Can the Golden State Warriors hold off a surging Charlotte Hornet sting? Yes, they get a stop. Curry turned the ball over. Here we go. Here we go. Charlotte Hornets, let's go. They get the stop. The stinger is out. The Hive is buzzing. Let's go. LaMelo Ball on the floor, wiping his shoes. Let's go, LaFonts. What we going to do? LaMelo crosses half court. He's at the logo. LaMelo Ball dribbling. Only one person contested him. They sneak another one. They try to blitz LaMelo. He kicks it out to Con. Con kicks it back to LaMelo. LaMelo's looking. He's surveying. LaMelo with the three, and he scores. No. LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball with the score. 122, 126. Charlotte Hornets down by 4. LaMelo Ball chipped in the deficit, And here we go again. They're operating from the arc, and they shoot another three, and they miss. Rebound, rebound. Draymond Green with the tip in. 128, 126, another 6 point deficit, and a miss by Brandon Miller from distance. Quick shot, 40 seconds go. Fast clock is engaged, and time is not on Charlotte's side as they blitz. And here they go. They got to do something. They got to do something. The clock is winding down. Bad clock management. They should have been in the foul game, but they didn't want to foul Curry. They should have fouled when Curry got the ball off. But unfortunately, they didn't, and it looks like this is going to be a downer for the Charlotte Hornets. Unfortunately, exciting play by Brandon Miller couldn't extend the lead to tie. Excuse me, they couldn't extend the deficit to tie. So here we go. Steph Curry at the line. Draymond Green barking at Charles Lee. Steph Curry hits. And now they increase the lead. So it's not enough possessions. It's definitely not enough time for the Charlotte Hornets to tie the game. So let's see what they do with the final 27 seconds. I'm surprised that Charles Lee didn't call for a free throw game. They let so much time run out, and now they put themselves in an uncanny position as the Charlotte Hornets looks like they're going to go down. They yielded 130 points to the Golden State Warriors, and the Golden State Warriors don't have a real dominant center. That's incredible. And it's somewhat shocking. So I'm very surprised. Man, thank you everybody for rocking out with Flight Sports TV, man. We appreciate you here. Happy New Year's Eve, going into the New Year's. I know you had a lot to say. And we're going to go through some of these comments. And let's see how you feel about this game, because the Charlotte Hornets was the first to 100. I thought the Charlotte Hornets would have this in the bag, because we know what the statistics say. Analytically, when it comes to the team that scores 100 points first, it's practically like an 87% win ratio. And somehow Lamelo gets hurt after hitting 4 straight three-pointers in the third quarter, giving him 12 points for the quarter, leading all scorers for that quarter for sure. And if you had a player prop for Lamelo in the third quarter, you won that. If you had Lamelo ball plus 6 in the third quarter, you won that handsomely. Lamelo ball chewed up the Golden State Warriors in that third quarter. Then, unfortunately, disaster happened, and Lamelo got injured. He hurt his hand or his finger, something on that shooting hand. And it has been bothering him. And he came back into the game. He did score, but it didn't seem like Lamelo took a aggressive stance. That belonged to Brandon Miller. Nipple even cooled off. He did some damage in the second half, but not like he was in the first half. So Walktown Nipple cooled off, and the Golden State Warriors with Jimmy Butler at a certain juncture of the game start eating up the interior of the Charlotte Hornets defense. LaMelo Ball with a long three. But that's not enough. That is not enough. They try to trap Curry. They took a lot of time off the clock. I'm surprised Charles Lee didn't go to the free throw game. Shout out to Basil Carpenter Jr. That's right. Hit that like button, man. Don't pay yourself. Shout out to UYP Studios. Shout out to No Ben Naha. Shout out to Reed Dion. Definitely shout out to Noble Knowledge, a staple of Flight Sports TV. Shout out to Rap God Reloaded. Thank you for coming through, Rap God. We appreciate your time, your consideration, and your presence on this New Year's Eve. Yeah, this 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 was kind of a heartbreaker to an extent because the Charlotte Hornets has been playing some real good basketball of lately, and for three solid quarters, the Charlotte Hornets was damaging the Golden State Warriors. Even though the Golden State Warriors went on a couple of runs, the Charlotte Hornets they bit down on the pipe, paused, and gathered their scruples and made a run for themselves and took the lead. And not only did they take the lead as the score was 131 to 135, 6 point deficit, but it just seemed like the game is more distance than 6 points. Here comes Lamelo. Let's see what Lamelo do. Lamelo pump fake. He looks. He gives it up. 3 point shot by Brandon. No good. And that's to do it. Rebound Golden State. Final score 132, 125. Golden State covers the spread coming in on New Year's Eve. They did it. Charlotte Hornets fall to the Golden State Warriors on New Year's Eve. The Mellow hugs the mascot, and this one is over. So there was good play by Steph Curry and all of the Charles Egan, Steph Curry hug, and all of his help, because even Draymond Green in certain juncture of the game seemed like he was taking it over. And we saw what Jimmy Buckets was doing once the Golden State Warriors softened the interior of the Charlotte Hornets defense and made Musa Diabate a non-existence by shooting from the distance and making it. It's one thing to shoot from the distance, but it's another thing when you make them. And when you make them during droughts, it's devastating to the psyche of your opponent. And that's what the Golden State Warriors did. They were shooting from the distance at a pure rate that caused distraught and fear psychologically from the Charlotte Hornets. Devastating daggers, one after another, Golden State Warriors. And it wasn't just Steph Curry. It was players that I never even heard of. It was players I never even seen. So that's how talented the NBA is, and that's why you have to come with your knife and your shield, or your sword and your shield, night in and night out, whether you're at home or on the road. Because these players in the NBA are so talented. It's a global game. They get these players from overseas, and you don't have really a scouting report on them. So you play them semi-loosely, and these players are killing you night in and night out, shooting that peel at a great rate. So unfortunately, the Charlotte Hornets cannot overcome the Golden State Warriors arsenal from beyond the arc, and they fall to the Golden State Warriors 132, 125. And shout out to everybody that's in that chat, man. Happy New Year's to you all. We appreciate you coming through to Flight Sports TV. If anyone wants to come up on a panel and share some things that they want to share, uh, dealing with 2025, or they want to share something going into 2026, the panel is open for you if you got the courage to come up and share some of your delight and some of your darkness in 2025, and how you're going to overcome all impediments in your path in 2026. Happy New Year's to all. I mean, It's great to be alive right now. It's great to be healthy. But if you don't have your full health, but you are able to breathe God's free air on this round blue marble, then you are blessed as well. The only people that are not blessed are the ones that cannot breathe God's good air. And if you breathe in God's good air, whether from a machine or without a machine, your body is a machine. Be thankful because it could always be worse. And we do not want to inflict ourselves with bad karma. So let's be good people, man. It doesn't cost nothing to be good people. That's your choice. That's your free will to be a good person, to be a good human. You don't have to be a dickhead. You don't have to be an asshat. You don't have to be a jerk. You don't have to be an asshole. You don't have to be condescending. Just be a good person. There's nothing wrong with that. And allow the frequency of good vibes, high karma, and wonderful blessings and openings into your life. None of us are perfect, and that's okay. God made us complete yet incomplete. God made us complete yet incomplete. He gave us our form, right? He gave us our five extremities, our head, our two arms, our two legs, and he gave us a torso to keep us upright. So that's complete. All human beings have that unless you're born with a deformity. If you're not born with a deformity, that makes us equal. But that doesn't mean we are equally. We're only equal because we're made in a five extremity form. That's the human form. Head, two legs, two arms, and a body to centralize all of this movement. But what makes us non-equally, definitely not the color of your skin, unless you're in the heat, or unless you're in the cold. That's the only superiority you may have over others, is that you can stand heat or you can stand cold. Outside of that, what makes man superior over other men is his mind and the way that he extrapolates non-visible things and make them visible. That's what gives man the uncanny ability to be superior over other men. And when I say men, I'm talking women as well. Because you got man and you got one man. W-O, one man, womb of man. So it's still man. But a woman might have a few extra holes to deal with on her body. She might have a few extra protruding flesh off her body. Outside of that, that's the only really distinction between man and woman. That she have a few extra holes and she have some things protruding from her upper torso. And depending on how much you weigh as a man, you could be having some protruding things above your upper torso. So we want to thank all of you who came tonight or this evening to witness a hell of a basketball game. I mean, it was great for 3 quarters. I mean, man, it had you on the edge of your seat biting your fingernails because the Lamelo ball was about to go on a tear. And it always seemed like On games like this, nationally televised, playing against first ballot Hall of Famers. You know Draymond gonna be first ballot. You definitely know Jimmy first ballot, and you know Steph Curry supremely first ballot. So he's playing against three first ballot Hall of Famers, and he's showing out. I mean, Lamelo is showing his buttocks coming out of that break where Charles Lee made the adjustment, and Lamelo was on fire. All of a sudden, a, a hand injury. I mean, how bizarre, right? How ununique is that? Well, I won't say ununique. How unique is that? And it just seemed like it's a never-ending story when it comes to LaMelo Ball. Steph Curry had 26 points. Brandon Miller led all scorers with 33. And there was a player prop on Brandon Miller in the second half. I think it was a plus 111 if he can score over 30 points. So anybody took that player prop plus 111 for Brandon Miller, congratulations going into the new year because you hit a jackpot. Colin Sexton had 16. Con Knipple finished with 20. Great performance for Con Knipple. 20 points, 8 assists. So Con Knipple was playmaking. LaMelo Ball ended with 27, and he shut out a pretty much of that second half dealing with the head injury. Zion James and PJ Hall led all scores off the bench with 9 apiece. Diabate made the starting lineup, but Diabate was unable to score, and Diabate did not get double-digit rebounds. Brandon Miller had 14 field goals made. On the total, Charlotte Hornets only had 37 rebounds, but they had 35 assists. So they assist their rebound, and they also had 11 steals. So you can't be mad at that aspect because 11 steals, not counting the turnovers, that's good basketball. That's good basketball. And that's basketball in good taste. 11 steals, that's good basketball. I like that. Double digit steals. They did have 15 turnovers, but 11 steals. So that means you deny your opponent 22 points, right? At least 22 points. Between 33 and 22 points, you denied that, and everything in between. So that's you can't sneeze at that. So that's good basketball for the Charlotte Hornets. I'm not mad at that at all, man. 11 steals against a Golden State Warrior team that was putting on a passing clinic, and they was playing around the horn. Everything was beyond the arc, setting up the offense and even launching the peel. Everything started from beyond the arc. That was their attack space. And then once that was fluid and prominent, Jimmy Butler stepped in with the 1-2 punch and started eating up the interior. So you can't be mad at that. Let's hear what Charles Lee have to say.
kind of do some different things. And so I think we took our defense to another level. We added some layers, we added some tools. The guys really competed within it, and I thought the togetherness of the group was like really good to try to cover for each other all night, to try to get the ball out of Curry's hands. Just a couple of those possessions, I feel like can we finish the possession a little bit better with a rebound, or just making without fouling, allowing Butler to get 12 free throws. So like those like kind of two areas, rebounding defensively, and then some of the fouls that we had, and some moments for free throw. But I think offensively, different coverages too. Yeah, and with most sports, game runs, the other teams obviously eventually go on some type of run, and I thought that group, they responded really well. They were able to kind of take some of those punches and rally, and I thought our pace was great. See, we had 35 assists, means the ball was moving. But then the other part of like the areas I think we can get better, and I mean, we only had 15 turnovers games for us. Not that bad, but they were in pivotal moments, and it kind of allowed them to kind of creep back into the game. So we got to continue to take care of the ball. I think in some of those pick and roll situations, especially you get to that third quarter, like you said, you're building a lead, like we know that they're going to be in a blue or a blitz situation, and just having a little bit more poise and getting our guys to be rollers. But I know we also teach on out there playing the five sometimes. He's used to popping at times. So but we need him to play in the seam and have the ball movement and be strong within the blitz.
You mentioned about the league rebounding increase on the offense. You guys just completed the best 5-game offensive rebound stretch of the season. That coincides with the best 5-game offensive stretch of the season. Is that correlated with how many offensive rebounds you did?
I think for sure. It's part of our identity. So we should relentless offensive rebounders. And I think we've also seen, like, Brooks is one of the best in the league. And so he's played a lot more with some of our guys getting injured too. So I always think that takes a bit of an uptake. But I'll give credit to our guards. It's one of the areas I think I've seen Brandon commit to a lot more. Corner crashing. He's gotten his hands on a couple more. I've seen Khan kind of get in the mix. Melo gets one tonight, the putback. So, as much as our bigs kind of, I think, started, all the other guys have really chipped in, and it's been really helpful for our offense.
All right, let's dig a little deeper into Tom Kniffel. As I mentioned, this Monday with that ankle injury, did not want to be sitting on the bench, but came back today, 4 of 7 from that 3-point line, 7 of 11 overall, which makes his performance.
The man's like, oh, we don't understand. No, I think it's just it's a real tough player. He exhibited today. It's not even moving basketball. It's just making these extra plays. And as we've said before the game, throughout the course of the season, underrated playmaker for others. And today, 8 assists going on with 20 points. I thought he was just fantastic. He took advantage of his opportunities when given. It's just the issue. Coming back from the game where you had to sit out because of an ankle injury, really impressed with his performance.
There you have it, Charles Lee, with the explanation of what went down. And you heard excerpts of the game of Con Kniffel, where we spoke about it starting from halftime, how Con Kniffel was more of a Jeff Hornets fit than a John Stockton. Horny baby, Jeff Horny baby. But tonight he was more Stockton than Jeff Hornacek, because he had 20 points, 8 assists. I mean, in a high profile game like this, going against 3 first ballot Hall of Famers. I mean, we might can question Draymond. We really can't, because Draymond got 4 championships. So that's what makes him first ballot Hall of Famer. It's not so much of his statistics. It's more so of his mind and the way of the Golden State regime, where they was unanimously a dynasty for that era, for the 2010. Great job for Draymond Green directing the choir for that time. Definitely the hegemony of sovereignty, Golden State Warriors. So let's look at the tail of the tape of this game. We all know that Brandon Miller at 33 exploded in the second half and just shredded his player prop where he was minus 111 for the second half to reach 30 plus. He shredded that. So congratulations to any and everybody who took a risk and put a little wager on Brandon Miller player prop. Also, we have to look at the shooting percentage. The shooting percentage for this game wasn't that bad for either team. Both teams netted over 50% shooting wise. Free throw was a great disparity. The free throw was a great disparity. Golden State shot a whopping 94% to the Charlotte Hornets 76%. And the Charlotte Hornets got Colin Sexton and Lamelo Ball. Both superb free throw shooters. 3-point shooting. Golden State, 24 of 49. They launched 49 3-point shots and made nearly 50% of them. The Charlotte Hornets, 16 for 40. The Charlotte Hornets launched 40 3-pointers today. Only made 16. 40%. Okay, that's above league average, 40%. But Golden State was damn near 50%. Not a contest. Golden State wins easily. And that's where the margin of victory lies. Assists. You heard Charles Lee talk about assists. And you heard me talk about it before Charles Lee talked about it. 35 assists. That's good. The ball was moving around. Now, I didn't know the Charlotte Hornets had 35 assists to end this game because I assumed Golden State had at least 30 plus assists because they was putting on a passing clinic against the Charlotte Hornets. So it wasn't hard to believe Golden State could have 30 assists or 30 plus assists. But I was very much surprised to see that Charlotte Hornets had 35 assists. I did not see it. It didn't feel like they was getting the ball to players executing to finish with 35 assists. So congratulations to the Charlotte Hornets. So there was no deficit there. That was an even kill, 35 to 35. Total rebounds, 37-37. Charlotte Hornets didn't get killed on the rebound. Despite Diabate not having one rebound. He finished this game. Oh, excuse me. No, he had 8 rebounds. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about points. He had a donut in points. But the rebound, Diabate had 8. Normally, Diabate is in the mid double figures when it comes to rebound. Because a lot of his rebounding comes from the offensive side as well. Because he's a Charlie Hustle inside that interior. He knows how to navigate inside the restricted area when it comes to offensive rebound. And giving Charlotte Hornets those extra attempts paid great dividends in the Charlotte Hornets playing good basketball in the last week of the season. Fast break points. Charlotte Hornets outdueled the Golden State Warriors in fast break points, 19-7, plus 12. That's a positive sign for the Charlotte Hornets. And they did not have Miles Bridges. So that was a weapon the Charlotte Hornets had to fight without. And they still won the fast break point margin of plus 12, 19-7. Steals, like I said before, Charles Lee, he highlighted a little bit, but he didn't really go hard on the steals like he should have because that's a mark of achievement. When you get a double digit steal and you yeah, we're going to bring this stream to an end. I'm having technical difficulties, as you can see.